Okay, so here's number 4 out of the knives that Dave has sent into the channel. And this one is the Elevation. This one is a little different from the other Ozark Trails knives that they have come out with. But I do want to give a quick shout out to Ice Cow Gamer because he just brought to my attention. See, I've mentioned multiple times about a review and test that a channel did on these original Ozark Trails 7-inch or 7.5-inch folding knives to verify that they were D2 steel and to find out what the deal was with the pickle. And he has corrected me in the name. So Ice Cow Gamer told me, and the channel that I have been referring is Outdoors 55. So, and I knew it was Outdoors something. I was thinking Outdoors Reviews, but no, Outdoors 55 is the one that did the hardness testing and all that. That's just a great channel. I can't tell you enough that, yeah, you need to go check that channel out and give him a looky-loo for sure. So let's go from the beginning, and then we will pop this baby open and take a look at this one. So we have the original, which I think this is the second iteration. I hate to keep saying that, but the originally they were all orange handles, and this one is orange. I just dyed it brown. But there was a little bit of difference in that original copy. This one is the next one that come out. It was like not even announced. Everything appeared for the packaging and everywise appeared to be the same knife. It was just, you could tell very small differences between this one and the very first iteration. Then the next ones that come out were these tan handles. And I think about the time that these tan handles come out, there was a green handled Tanto style knife that come out. And then we got the next iteration, which is a black-handled stonewash blade. All right. Then, and this is knife number 3 sent to us by Dave. And this is a little shorter blade. The thumb stud's a little smaller. You got a back flipper installed, aluminum handles, kind of a stone-washed aluminum handle. And I believe this is a hybrid from a older Ozark Trail knife and one of these. I think they kind of combine the best of both worlds. None of these are assisted. They're all manual knives. So with that out of the way, let's take a look at the current and mostest of the mostest, which they did change the box just a little bit. Ozark Trails knife. And again, this one's called the Elevation. Yes, the Elevation. And so, what do you see that's different? Can you spot the difference? Yes, it's a button lock. Awesome. So, this knife, like this, reminds me of the Kershaw Iridium, with this little orange kind of half back spacer type setup here. And the scales are a grayish green stonewash type finish. These appear to be, I mean, this might be some kind of plastic that they've machined, but it's almost, if it is, then they machined it to look like micarta. So you almost think it's micarta. I don't think it is. I think it is some kind of polymer or plastic, but it's machined to resemble micarta for sure. Now the thumb studs, I can tell you now, they are bigger. So let's just open this thing up. Let's start with the button. We'll open it with the button. There you go. That's a button open, and that blade is just flippy, floppy. Absolutely. Timing's not bad to get a hold of. Thumb flick, that's pretty cool. So I can see some differences right off the bat with this knife here. And this is a 12C27. So this blade steel is a little different. Yeah, it's a 12C27. Yeah, it says it's a G10 handle and a 12C27 blade steel. These, what does this say? Oh, that's this. That's the regular D2, and that one's regular D2. So this knife right here feels great. If you look inside there, you see the exact same inner liner that these three here have. The little small circles, the cut, the skeletonized inner liner, and this one is on bearings as well. It looks like it's pretty much the same liner that the axis, or what they call it, the side lock or whatever, it has. And so I think those are basically the same. I can see just small differences. So they definitely used a different CNC program. I think they take the same profile knife and maybe do a little different here, because if you look at this knife here in relation to this one right here, I just have to say this one could be cut out of this right here. So I believe they're taking the same blanks and they're reprofiling them a little bit and adding this half backspacer to them, which the backspacer is aluminum. You have 2 screws on the back section. You have, let's see. So the button lock appears to be the stop going both ways. There's like no, yeah, there's a little bit of blade play back and forth. It's got bearings, so there's going to be a small amount of blade play. This button, so the thumb stud is much bigger around than the original configurations, and shorter. So let's do some side-by-side comparisons. If you look at that, you can see that the thumb studs on the original series of 7-inch knives or 7.5-inch folders is narrower and wider, and this is more compact. The width of the knife altogether is, yeah, you can. This is fatter, not by a lot, but it's a little fatter than the newest knife that they've got out, the Elevation. So I believe they've just upgraded again. But I think I think it's good. I think it's a positive, good upgrade. Medium pocket clip. There's no jimping on the handle anywhere. You've got a cutout here, just like you do on the Sandra. I believe this one's the one what this one's called. It does have the lanyard loop. It's an aluminum inserted lanyard loop versus the original type setup. This is just like the Kershaw Iridium, and so I think this is almost a look-alike for the Kershaw Iridium. And so the blade. So let's take a look at the blade. The laser etching or whatever that is, screen printing or whatever that is on the blade is not as prominent or rough as the original, all the rest of the knives, the way they were. It has the same stone-washed finish as the most recent bug-out style knife. If you look at the profiles of the blades, so they took the blade, and that is very, very slightly beveled or bellied in. So it kind of looks like to me that you have the same outward profile that you do here, but the top is more slimlined. And so this is a more teardrop shape, and this is more what I'm going to call a buck knife style blade tip on this one right here. And again, so these knives here all have very deep sharpening choles. This one ended up with a pretty narrow sharpening choil, which I believe will still give you quite a bit of use before it's down below that. And then they come back to a more prominent sharpening choil on the latest iteration with the elevation. Still not as deep as this one right here, but still a pretty deep setup. So there you've got a little different profile with your blade, most definitely. The blade is still a hollow grind. Listen, Ozark, make me a flat grind, 7.5 inch. Call it the extra special. I don't know. Call it something, but make me a flat grind blade. Come on now. You guys can do it. I know you can do it because, I'm so important. Y'all gonna definitely watch my video and do what I'm asking you to do. No doubt. So anyway, the blade, the knife, holding the handle again, none of these pocket clips are intrusive. Or maybe my hands are just so gnarly that they just don't register, but it's not uncomfortable. It's not uncomfortable to hold. Now, you do have this aluminum in the back, and it is into my hand slightly, but not enough to really bother. That's fine. I don't have any issues with that. The handles, the scales, they are, I'm going to say they're sharp but smooth because they come to a really prominent, and you can feel the edge lines, but they're rounded, so they're not uncomfortable. So it's, I don't know, it's just hard to say. You got more chamfer, looks like, on the front than you do on the back. The back is just slightly less of a chamfer along the back side. And come on now. You got some rounded profiles and some squared off profiles in relation to the other iterations of the knife. So they made some delicate changes and then some glaringly obvious changes. And then the biggest one is the button. I think that is just awesome. So let's check this out. Flick it open pretty hard, push the button, and it drops. Okay, so if you can, I don't know if you can hear that, because once I go through the sound editing and all that, it may take some of this noise out, but I'm flicking it open hard to try to set the blade and then pushing the button. And the blade is just flippy floppy. It's not holding it at all, but there's a little bit of wear that needs to be taking place on this knife, because when you flick it out, the button pops out and a little bit harder. Now, if I flick it out easy, pretty much the way I would do if I was pulling out of my pocket, the button is just, it's fine. It's no big deal. It's not hard to push the button. It's not uncomfortable. It's not nothing negative. It's all fine. But when I flick it out hard, really put some authority behind it, the button pops out and it's kind of just a little bit of a drag to it. And I push it and it goes in. Now, I'm pretty sure that after I work this knife, 20, 30 times, opening, closing, playing around, flippy flopping, that will definitely go away. I have no doubt that it will. Another thing that is definitely a different, we already said that there's no jimping on the handle itself, but the blade itself, the jimping is tighter and smaller. It would be a better comparison here with this one. So they took and extended the jimping beyond the stud again, and kind of like with the bug out style, and I'm going to keep calling them that, blades, but it's a tighter pattern, kind of like with this knife right here. And this is very shallow, but these are much deeper, just like with these right here. It's a pretty deep jump there. And these are not uncomfortable, but it's sharper. And so again, usually I'm going to hold a knife like this, because if my finger's up underneath here, I've got it right about just above and behind the pivot pin. I'm not usually going to be up here. So that's not a huge use for me. But where it would be a huge use is when I get in here to use it like this right here, because that's when I'm going to really be getting into this jimping on the knife right here. And so I like the blade. I like the teardrop shapes of these and the little more compact style of this knife right here. But I like that buck, and I'm going to keep calling it like the buck tip, because that just reminds me of the old buck skinning knives. And that is a pretty decent a tip. I like that. If it was just a flat grind, if it was just a flat grind, it feels good. I don't feel any edge roll on there at all. I think this is the sharpest one out of the whole bunch so far. Yeah, down on the end, it's shaving sharp. Get the hair off of there. That's where all that hair come across. Well, I was picking hairs off the mat earlier, and that's what it was from me shaving my hand. So anyway, so this is awesome. It just seems like when they come out with another knife for the Ozarks, they make improvements. They go anywhere from very mild, unnoticed improvements to more obvious improvements or changes, such as handle scale color and blade style. And then they're kind of mixing and matching their combinations. And I really like this knife because I really, really like the Kershaw Iridium. I even like the clone that I've got. I can't really tell the clone from the Iridium, the actual one I bought from Walmart, where it says that was actually the second one. Watch that video. I want to attach it to this because I'm attaching these all together. So this knife right here, again, the pocket clip is reversible for left or right hand carry. It does not do tip down. It is tip up only. I'm not crazy about tip up because I have had knives open and stick my hand down in there. Not that I think this one would open. I mean, there's a little bit to it, and I really don't think that it would just come open in your pocket. It can, but I have had it happen, and I'm just not comfortable with tip up carry because of that. I'm used to grabbing a knife, pulling it out. It's in my hand, and it's ready for me to do whatever I'm going to do with it. So anyway, this knife right here is a definite plus. All of these knives are absolutely, without a doubt, 100% recommended by me. And I know that makes all the difference in the world, don't it? Because Kevin said so. So there you got the different iterations so far. These are 4 of the knives that Dave sent in. These are the Walmart styles. We still have one more to look at. This is one that I already had. And so this right here is a cool setup. I like them. I like every one of these knives. You already know I like this knife. And I've told you the history again and again and again. And what Outdoors 55 did and that's thanks to Ice Cow Gamer. He's the one that reminded me who that was. They did the testing on the blades to confirm that they were D2 and the issues with the sharpening and different things like that. And in the next iterations here, and then the aluminum setup, and then the button lock here. So I appreciate you guys. I enjoy spending time with you. I enjoy doing these videos. And I would ask that if you like this stuff that you would like and subscribe. Become a member of the channel. I appreciate all that you guys do. I appreciate how you guys give me information, like Ice Cow Gamer. He jumps in there and says, hey, look, man, this is the name of the guy you're trying to think of. And so it's one of the reasons that drew me to YouTube to begin with, because of how people are trying to help one another. Yes, there's trolls. There's people that are just wanting to make themselves feel better by making you feel worse. And that's everywhere. But I appreciate you guys tremendously. I get stuff from you just like I'm trying to give you stuff, and I hope that I've helped you out. I thank you, I appreciate you, and I will see you next time. Your time is very important to me, and I thank you for spending it here with me. Thanks, and God bless.